Well, hello, 你好, welcome back. 欢迎回来to Wisdom Wednesday with Johnny Tiger. The date is September 2nd, 2020. Wow, we're in September already. But today we are going to be talking about a different month altogether. We're going to be talking about July, but not our July, but July for Chinese people or people who follow the lunar calendar. You see, while the rest of us who follow the more conventional solar calendar, uh, for us, it's the end of summer. For people who follow the lunar calendar, it is just in the middle of July right now. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, today is July 15 for people in China and Taiwan. This is also why um, a lot of time people find it so confusing why Chinese New Year seems to be on a different day every year. Sometimes it's in January, sometimes it's in February, and there are even years when it landed in March. What's that all about? It is just because the lunar calendar and the solar calendar don't always line up. Here we are in September, and it's only the middle of their July, so by the time they are ready for their new year, our new year long past already. But again, today we're not going to be talking about New Year. Today we are going to talk about something just a little bit more lesser known in the uh, North America or Europe. Some people would say the civilized part of the world, but nah, I don't think so. I just think different culture. And so today we are going to be talking about Ghost Month. Something spooky this way come. Ghost Month. Um, by the way, in Mandarin, ghost is 鬼, Gwai, 鬼, Gwai, 鬼. It sounds a lot like when you say turtle. Uh, when you say turtle, you say 龟. Land turtle is 乌龟. Uh, sea turtle is 海龟. So that 龟 and 鬼, it's exactly the same pronunciation, just different tone. When you say 龟, you have to go up, make the tone go up. 龟. When you say ghost, you make the tone go down. 鬼, 鬼. On paper, they actually have two different words. They don't look anything alike on paper, but pronunciation exactly the same. So what is this ghost month business? For the most part, ghost month is actually a strictly Taiwanese belief. When you go to China, uh, Chinese people there, they celebrate the Day of the Hungry Ghost, which is on July 15th. But in Taiwan, the entire month of July falls on Ghost Month. The legend is that on the 1st of July, the gates of hell opens wide, and all those condemned spirits get to have a summer vacation away from hell. And on the last day of July, they all get dragged back into uh, their eternal torment and all that stuff. Uh, Not all the spirits that come out of hell are evil, but a lot of them are. Um, some of the most evil, most horrifying spirits, they don't even get to come out at all during this vacation. But a lot of the what we would think of as lesser criminals uh, in the spirit world get to come out and cause mischief. And that is why during the ghost months, there's a lot of traditions, a lot of customs that Taiwanese people follow, even to this day. Like when you go to Taiwan, if you are not from our culture, you will notice that people behave really weirdly this time of the year. And you're going to think that's silly. You're going to think that, wow, that's like old world superstition. But to us, those of us who grow up in that culture, Ghost Month is serious. It is not something to be uh, joked around. It's not something to be taken lightly. Uh, in another sense, to us, Ghost Month is as serious or important as Christmas is to those people who are Catholic or Christian. Uh, you can say that Ghost Month is a religious kind of uh, a religious kind of destination. I wouldn't say it's a holiday because it's really a holiday for the spirit, not holiday for people. But let's backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about China. The Hungry Ghost Day, where they have the Hungry Ghost Festival, where people burn ghost money, burn ghostly goods, uh, and to reward or to give to their ancestors to make sure they have paid their respect to their ancestors. That's on July 15th of the lunar calendar in China. Um, the origin of the Day of the Hungry Ghost came from a really, really old story. You would say that 3,000 or so years ago, there was a Chinese Buddhist monk who spent his days and nights praying for the soul and salvation of his deceased mother because he went to bed and he dreamed every night that his mother was suffering in hell. She was starving, she was emaciated, she was being tortured in hell because his mother was not a very nice person when she was alive. We may actually cover her story in a future episode of uh, Tales from the Far East in the Johnny Tiger Experience podcast, the best podcast in the world. Just in case you guys haven't checked that out yet, go to any podcast app and you can look for the Johnny Tiger Experience podcast. If you like this video, then you will definitely like the podcast. Okay, advertisement period done. Go back to the Hungry Ghost Day. So this monk spent his every waking minute praying and chanting and studying Buddhism, hoping for the salvation of his mom. Finally, the Buddha appeared before him, and the Buddha told him, "You are doing this wrong. Your mother is paying for the sins she committed when she was alive. Nothing you can do uh, directed toward her will be able to affect her situation because you are doing this out of selfishness. You are praying for your mother. If you really want to help your mom, then stop wasting time praying and actually go out and help people, heal sick people, give money to poor people, and help your fellow monks and nuns have a better quality of life. By doing that, you will accumulate good karma, and that will go toward shortening your mom's sentence in hell." So from that day on, this monk stopped praying, stopped doing rosaries, stopped spending time doing things just for his selfish reason. He went out of the monastery, traveled around China, helped the poor, helped the sick, and educating other people on how to be a proper Buddhist. And just like that, his mom was able to reincarnate into a human being a lot sooner than she would have otherwise. He effectively shortened her time in hell by being a very productive and helpful person, racking up a lot of good karma. So it was from that time on that people started using this monk's birthday, which was July 15th on the lunar calendar, as a day of payback, a day of worship, a day of paying your respect, a day of giving back to the society, to the spirit, to the ancestor. But that's in China. In Taiwan, we observe the spirits for the entire month. Like I said, on July 1st, the gates of hell open. A whole lot of spirits come out of there. Some are good, some are bad. The good ones want to go back and use this time to see their family, see their friends, or maybe just to see the world. The bad ones use this time to try to uh, find substitute. Now, what is this deal? Finding substitute. This is a Chinese belief in the Taoism and Buddhism that sometimes for people who are uh, dead, who die of a violent crime or a sudden violent death, like accidents or uh, disasters, their spirit become bound to this earth. They can't reincarnate. They spend their time in torment, reliving the moment of their death over and over and over again. The only way for these spirits to go on and be able to proceed to reincarnate is if they cause someone to die in the same manner so another person's spirit can take their place. Now, normally, when these ghosts are locked up in hell, we don't have to worry about them. But during the month of July, they come out of there and now they are back looking for someone to replace them. Their goal is to get someone killed. That's really scary. Again, when we're just sitting here, I mean, I'm sitting here in Canada where there's no such thing as ghost months. We can talk about this, and some people may laugh about this and say, wow, that's so silly. That's a silly superstition. But when you're over there and you hear about horrendous things that happen to people in July, then sometimes it makes you think that maybe there's some truth to these stories. Some of the worst accidents, people getting run over by trucks, people getting killed on the train track, people having airplane that go down, people drown in even their bathtub, even people who are not taking a bath, people who take a shower, slip, hit their head, and drown in the shower. These things happen in July during the ghost month. Now, some people may say, well, that makes sense. You know, it's the first time of the year, it's summer. There's more activity. People sometimes, you know, there's more crowd. People go out and do more. So obviously, that's going to be more accidents. Well, you can look at it that way, but one way or another, it doesn't hurt to be careful. And one of the best way to be careful during the ghost months is to pay your respect. Now, how do we pay our respect? We burn ghost money and ghost possessions. What are ghost money? What are ghost possessions? These are money and houses and even computers or cars made up of a very special paper that has been blessed by the temple, the Buddhist temple and Taoist temple. And it is said that these things have the property that when you burn them, they appear as a real thing in the spirit world. So let's say you buy a stack of ghost money. Uh, you spend $100 real money and buy $1 million ghost money. You pray to your ancestor, and then you burn this at in the fire. It is said that your ancestor will then get this money in the spirit world. So if you burn a ghost card, a paper card, they'll get that card. Now, you can't use just any paper, okay? You can't make these at home. These really actually have to be a special formula, a special paper drawn with a special ink. In Taiwan, there's stores owned by uh, Buddhists and monks and nuns that sell these things. Uh, and you have to use these for them to work. Think of them like holy water. Like, you know, you can't just get any water to use on a spirit, an evil spirit. You need water that get blessed by the priest. So these ghostly goods are the same thing. They are special paper, special ink, blessed by the priest, so they can become reality in the other world. Now, I mean, some people already, I'm sure some people are already thinking, wow, that's a pretty good racket for the monks and the nuns to make some money. I'm sure this is all commercial. And I'm thinking maybe back in the old days, back in the old days, when monks and nuns had such a hard time getting donations from people, maybe this was the only month of the year where they could actually make a living. So maybe maybe this started out as a way for the temples and monasteries to support themselves, is to come up with this custom. But hey, what do I know? Now you don't just burn these ghostly goods. There's a very specific custom on doing this. One thing is you should never do it in your own yard or near your own house. Some people get a little bit relaxed and lazy. They say, well, I don't want to go to the park. I don't want to go to the cemetery. I'll just do a garbage can trash fire on my patio and burn these things, and my ancestors will still come and get it. There's a reason why you don't want to do this near your house, because when you are burning these things, you're attracting not just your ancestors, you're attracting any spirit that's nearby. You're telling them this is like a buffet. There's some goods over here. If they can come here and then steal things while they're burning, they can get some stuff out of it. So when you are paying respect to your ancestor, don't do it near your house. You want to go to a nearby park, hopefully away from your house, and hopefully there's a lot of other people also paying their respect. Hopefully, maybe in the cemetery, uh, and do it. This way, you're not going to attract all kinds of strange and evil spirits to your household. Doing it in your house, doing it near your house, it's like announcing to all the homeless people, "Hey, I got tin cans and glass jars and pop bottles here, and anyone can come get it." You don't want to do that. So, what are some of the do's and don'ts that happen in the ghost month? We'll quickly run through some of these. The biggest one is do not go swimming. Not in the swimming pool, not in the ocean, not in the river. Because any spirit that was drowned before going to take this chance to try to get you drowned so they can go on to reincarnation. In fact, depending on your Chinese zodiac, apparently every year some zodiacs are stronger and some zodiacs are weaker. Like if you're in the zodiac, if you are in the year of the tiger, for example, but if you are the zodiac of the pig, then you are at your weakest. So you probably want to be really careful taking a shower. uh, or a bath during the ghost month. And some people are going to say, so, well, what are we supposed to do? We have to be hygienic. We can't go a whole month without washing ourselves. There's a very specific custom that you can observe, that you can perform, a little ceremony that will keep you safe. During the ghost months, if you're worried that you might get drunk in the shower or get electrocuted by your radio or cell phone or electric light, before you get into the water, you dip your finger into the water and then you touch your heart, your throat, and the other side, like your lung. So left, center, right, with your finger, with that water. This is like a ceremony of blessing. You are using your own life force. It is said that every one of us, when we were born with the immune system, which keep away disease and viruses and bacteria. We're also born with a bakwa, an octagon inside us, the symbol that keep away evil spirit. So you can think of the bakwa as the immunity against spirit. Now, obviously, just like your immune system, it's not going to keep everything away. Your bakwa is not going to keep everything away either. But it's good to have that there. So by touching yourself, applying water, you are going to wash yourself in on your chest and your throat and the other side of your chest. You are activating your bakwa with that water. So now your spiritual immune system know that I'm going to go get into this water. So now we are on high alert. Hopefully your bakwa will keep you safe. The bakwa is always right in the center of your chest for everybody. It's above the solar plexus and under below the collarbone. So this area between your pecs or breast, this flat area right there, that's your bakwa. That's where that spiritual energy resides in your body, which is why Chinese people say, unless you have really good reason, it's a really bad form to smack someone in the middle of the chest or uh, punch someone there because you're messing up their spiritual immune system. So, stay away from water. During the ghost month, it is also a good idea whenever you walk into an empty room, even your own house, to knock on the door a few times and then wait for a few seconds before entering. The reason is a lot of the spirits, they really don't want to scare people. So they are going to find empty spaces to congregate. So when you leave home, some neighboring spirit may think, well, okay, there's no one home. Let's go there and have us a little party. By you suddenly walking into the room, you are spooking the spirit, and some of them may get offended when you do that. So, just to be on the polite side, we don't want to insult spirits. We don't want to offend them. It's a good idea to not. Just like you don't. It's a basic respect. Now, if there's someone in the house, if someone in the room, you don't want to just barge in, even if it's your own house. So, it's just a little gesture of respect. Knock before you enter. Another custom is during the ghost month, it's a good idea not to tap someone on the shoulder from behind. Reason being that a lot of people are really, really stressed out and nervous, especially at night if they have to walk outside alone. And by you tapping them on the shoulder unexpectedly, you can scare them really so bad that their spirit may temporarily leave their body. It is said that every time we get sick, or every time we go to sleep, or every time we get spooked, part of our spirit actually jump out of our body. Now, ordinarily, that's not really a problem, but if there's a lot of other spirit hovering around, if the person's own spirit jump out of their body, someone else may take that chance and move in. So we don't want to take that chance. So it's a good idea not to spook someone during the ghost month. Another custom during the ghost month is try not to make sudden big movement with your arms, and don't randomly do some gestures of warding, like draw the Holy Spirit sign, or the invoke the Buddha with your gesture or stuff like that. The reason being, you can't see these spirits. They may be right behind you or beside you. I know that sounds spooky, but it may be your ancestor just coming to sit with you for a little while. It may be a relative. It may be a good friend that just want to see you. They can't interact with you, but anytime you do one of these warding gestures, make the sign of the cross or whatever, or if you wave your arm and your arm was to pass through their spirit form, you disrupt their life energy. So if your, let's say your ancestor is sitting right beside you, and you suddenly wave your arm and your arm travels through them, you just seriously injure them by accident. And again, they may get offended and start messing with you after that. So it is a good idea to be considerate. Think that, always be prepared. There might be someone near you, so don't make big, dramatic, sudden movement that may hurt somebody that you can't see. So do the spirit just have a free run of the world? Like, is there no rule? Like, what if they take this chance and destroy humankind? Some people may ask. Well, the gods above, the Jade Emperor and the Buddha, they actually thought of that. So during the ghost months, there's a special force from heaven, a chosen uh, uh, set of gods and goddesses that patrol the world and will deal with things when things get out of hand. So during the ghost months, the temple that houses these gods and goddesses are doing really, really good business because everyone want to make sure that these special force ghost hunters are nearby just in case things go spookily wrong. Now, some people might be thinking, well, you are an educated, modern kind of fellow. You don't believe in ghosts, do you? Well, for that, I'm going to tell you, I don't disbelieve them. Just for the sake of, in case they are there, I don't want to offend them. I think as I read this research once that despite our modern scientific know-how, our understanding of this universe and this world and how things work is maybe 0.05%. So we only understand 0.05% of the universe with what we know now. So is it possible that spirits are all around us and we just don't know they're there? That's totally possible. Bacteria are all around us. We don't know they're there. Germs are all around us. We don't know they're there. I mean, we know they're there because some researchers tell us they're there, and you can actually see them in the microscope. So who's to say that 10 years down the road from now, someone's not going to come up with a microscope that actually let you say, hey, the ancestor is actually there. And just in case that ever happens, and just in case we actually get to interact with them, I don't want it to come back and haunt me, pun intended, that I once said that I didn't believe in them. So an old Chinese say goes, 宁可信其有，不可信其无. Now that is a little bit of a mouthful to remember, so don't actually try to remember that one. But basically what it says is we rather believe than disbelieve. Thank you so much for checking out today's Wisdom Wednesday. Hopefully it has been entertaining, if not all that educational. Uh, but anyway, we'll be back tomorrow for Toy Thursday. For now, have fun and 再见.